PT.1, it's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great day today. It's a coffee kind of morning. So after watching the great Richard McCook's version and Glenn Calloway's version of their top 100 albums, I've decided to do one myself. It's no easy task. It really is not. Just deciding what to put where, even where to start. It's a difficult choice. You feel maybe I should have put one lower, maybe I should have put one higher. Just going through all the albums, so it's going to be a combination of albums and a vinyl and CD as well. But just to go through all that and choose which is which and what I should include, because I like everything that I have. Fortunately, I have everything listed on Discogs, not to sell, just to list. So it made it a little bit of an easier task. I know both Richard and Glenn have theirs on a kind of a spreadsheet type of thing. I haven't done that just on the Discogs, which took about a week to do just on its own. So I'll give it a shot. Hopefully you enjoy. Again, it's my list, so if you agree, I greatly appreciate it. Even if you think one should be rated higher, that's cool. Just let me know. But I've hopefully come up with 100 great albums, and it's going to be probably over a 10 video period, featuring 10 albums at a time. Before I get into everything, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. I want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. You guys are amazing. You're wonderful. Just awesome stuff. So, and I'm trying to respond to all the comments out there. So thank you again. Thank you. One other thing, and I've already had a sneak peek at this, but it's going to be a surprise maybe. Another delivery yesterday of another boxed set, and these are definitely going to go somewhere in my top 10 lists. Maybe not all of the albums in here, but definitely a couple of them. But I've always wanted this artist. I just didn't know where to start because he's got so many albums. So I went with this one. This is the official release series, discs 1 through disc 4 of Mr. Neil Young. And instead of the paper type of holder, these are actually CDs, complete CDs. So it starts off with self-titled Neil Young. All been remastered, of course. The Emperor of Wyoming, The Loner, If I Could Have Her Tonight, I've Been Waiting for You, The Old Laughing Lady, String Quartet from Whiskey Boot Hill, Here We Are in the Years, What Do You Do to My Life? What Did You Do to My Life? Sorry. I've Loved Her So Long, The Last Trip to Tulsa. That's on that one. Next, with Crazy Horse, everyone knows This Is Nowhere. An amazing album. These are all on Reprise Records. Cinnamon Girl, huge hit for him. Everyone knows This Is Nowhere. Round and Round, Down by the River, great song. The Losing End, Running Dry, and Cowgirl in the Sand. An amazing album. Gold Rush. So as you can see, these are definitely going to be somewhere in the top 100 list. Tell Me Why, After the Gold Rush, Only Love Can Break Your Heart, Southern Man, huge hit for him. Till the Morning Comes, Oh Lonesome Me, Don't Let It Bring You Down, Birds, When You Dance, I Can Really Love, I Believe in You, and Cripple Creek Ferry. And finally, Harvest. So great box set again. Out on the Weekend, Harvest, A Man Needs a Maid, Heart of Gold, another big hit. Are You Ready for the Country? Old Man, love Old Man. That's a great tune. His live version is just to die for. There's the World, Alabama, another big one. The Needle and the Damage Done, an amazing song, and Words. This is a great album. So I'm pretty pleased about this box set. Probably one of the better box sets I've picked up, and again, quite reasonable. So there you have it. Okay, so let's get into this daunting task of the top 100. As I said, not easy, not easy. And these albums could have gone anywhere. They could have gone, some of them could have been much higher, but enough said. I'm just going to go on with it. So starting off at number 100, this is Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head, one of my favorite albums. Obviously on CD, but you get Politique, In My Face, Gotta Put a Smile on Your Face, love it. The Scientists, love it as well. Clocks, Daylight, Green Eyes, Warning Sign, A Whisper, A Rush of Blood to the Head, and Amsterdam. From the heavy intro to the almost off-key verses of Politics, to God Put a Smile on Your Face, amazing song. The beautiful piano on The Scientist, their big hit Clocks. Whisper's a great song, love the rhythm of it. Great album, lots of energy, again, just full of great songs. These guys, a lot of people pan them, but as a second release, this is a pretty darn good album. That's number 100 on the list. Again, these could have gone higher, lower. Number 99, Moody Blues, Days of Future Past, with the London Festival Orchestra. A remarkable album. This is on Duram Records. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, this is released in 1967, and it's one of the first prog albums of 1967. It's the second album by the band. I mean, who puts out a second album and starts off with an orchestra? It's just amazing that these guys did this. It's their first concept album, and it's one of the first progressive rock albums, as I said. Pretty much basically about a life of an ordinary man. It's been listed as one of the most important albums of 1967. Definitely an album you need to listen to. Includes Nights in White Satin, of course, Tuesday Afternoon. Two big hits for these guys. And just a remarkable album. Number 99. At number 98, again, this one could have been much higher, but have to make room for other stuff. This is Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story. Pretty much a Faces album, I'd say, because the guests include Ron Wood, Ian McLagan, and I think I thought there was another. maybe not. But again, two members of the Faces in this. Um, Mitch Waller on drums, Peter Sears on piano, Ron Wood on guitar and pedal steel, guitar and bass. He's a multi-instrumentalist, Ron Wood. Um, Ian McLaughlin on organ, Andy Pyle on bass, Dick Powell on violin. Um, just hit after hit after hit off of this one. It's one of my few albums by Rod Stewart, but one of my favorite albums by Rod Stewart. Just remarkable. It's released in 1971. It's been ranked 172 on Billboard's Top 500 albums in 2003. Every song on it is a gem. Maggie May, Mandolin Wind. There's a Dylan cover on there of Tomorrow Was Such a Long Time. It Again, this maybe could have been lower on the list, but it's there. Number 98. At number 97, the Guess Who, Share the Land. This is an amazing album. It's on RCA Victor. Randy Bachman's gone. He went off to form BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive. So they had to fill the space. They actually filled it with two guitarists. Pardon me. So that just goes to show the strength of Bachman's playing. Kurt Winter and Greg Liscu, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So they became a dual lead guitar band as well, which was quite popular back in the day. This was from 1970, their seventh studio album. It also became their biggest selling albums, and it is an amazing album. It's got so many hits on it. Hand Me Down World, Bus Rider, Do You Miss Me Darlin', Moan for You Joe, Share the Land, huge hit, Hang On to Your Life, another big hit, Coming Down Off the Money Bag, Song of the Dog, and Three More Days. There's the boys there. So again, a wonderful album. Could have gone higher, perhaps, but there's a better picture of one of the inner sleeves. These guys were at their peak. Basically, if I recall, and I saw there's a great Randy Bachman documentary on Crave TV talking about his life, and basically because of his religious background, his Mormon background, he was the straight man of the group. Everyone else wanted to go out and party and stuff, and there was just that conflict. He's a very serious musician, very serious musician, and from an early age just played. But it was just too much between the band, and just like any other band, egos get in the way, differences get in the way, but when they gelled. And he was a big loss, but he went on to bigger and better things, and still going strong. Burton Cummings, again, his ego, great musician, great singer, his ego and Randy's ego just clashed, and hence why he left the Guess Who. A lot of people were upset about that, but it didn't seem to diminish anything that either did, because again, this album just proved that they could go on and to great success because it was a successful album, and of course Randy went on to his success as well. So pretty awesome. Um, Next is number 96, Tom Petty, Wildflowers. I'm sorry. Amazing album. This is a second studio album, released in 1994. Hit 3 times platinum, and again, tons of big hits off of this one. You Don't Know How It Feels. It's Good to Be King. Not so much a rocker, but more of a folk-based album. Ringo also appears on one of the songs to Find a Friend. Ringo Starr is on there as well. But for a second album to be, I guess, as mature as this one is, it's pretty amazing. Um, Tom Petty was a remarkable artist. Um, a lot of people love him, a lot of people don't. Um, but it's like any artist. There's some fans and not so many fans. But I think this is an amazing album. Wildflowers. That's coming in at number 96. To go in the opposite direction, another band that I recently discovered, and I know they've been around for a long time, but I recently discovered them. But slowly becoming one of my uh, favorites. This is Muse and Absolution, one of their biggest selling albums as well. It's their third studio album by the band, released in 2003. It's a darker album than the other albums that I have in my collection by them. A lot of lyrics have theological themes throughout them. Reached number 1 in the UK, and released the band's first top 10 single, Time Is Running Out. Um, Tight drums, killer bass runs, heavy riffs. Just a great album throughout. The Muse is one you need to listen to from start to finish, pretty much. It's a great band. So that's number 95, Muse Absolution. At number 94, getting back into a Canadian theme here. Again, this one could have been so much higher or lower, depending on which way you look at it. And this is Our Lady Peace, Navid. Kind of Canada's version of Pearl Jam, perhaps, if you would want to compare a band to them. Um, Full of hits. It's the debut album by Our Lady Peace, released in 1994. Huge success. There's 5 singles released off of this album alone. The Birdman, Starseed, Navid, Hope, and Super Satellite. Rain Maida, of course, unique vocals. It's hard to describe his vocals. Good singer, but he has a pitched type of voice that raises and lowers. Again, as I said, a Pearl Jam kind of band, but they have their own unique style. But it's just a great rock, prog rock, grunge combo. But heavy drums, great guitars all throughout, and just a wonderful album. Navid from Our Lady Peace. I love the cover as well. I want to get more from those guys for sure. At number 93, this is a unique album, and from a great artist. And I may regret putting this where it is, but this is Almost Blue by Elvis Costello. This is released in 1981 in Nashville. It basically consists of covers from great country artists, old country, Hank Williams, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Graham Parker. Um, it's a great album which allowed Elvis Costello to put his own take on these great classics, and he does an awesome job to it. He puts a lot of emotion into these songs, um, and again, it's one of these favorites that could have been in a different position on the list, but it's got Why Don't You Love Me Like You Used to Do, Sweet Dreams, Success, I'm Your Toy, Hot Burrito #1, Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down, Brown to Blue, A Good Year for the Roses, Sittin' and Thinkin', Color of the Blues, Too Far Gone, Honey Hush, and How Much I Lied. It's got John McVie on it, played lead guitar and pedal steel, and just a wonderful, wonderful album. That is number 93. Number 92. I can't regret my decisions. I gotta stick with my decisions. Number 92. Bad Out of Hell, Meatloaf. Um, Definitely gonna be in the top 100, but I put it where it was. Um, it's an amazing debut album, a concept album released in 1977. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time. It spent 522 weeks on the UK charts alone. It's also one of the most influential albums of all time, rock albums anyway. It was listed 343 of the top 500 on Rolling Stones, so I guess I'm not too far off in that way. You took the words right out of my mouth. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, just a few of the singles off of this one. And I'm happy to have it in my collection. Also, the artwork on the cover is pretty awesome as well. And finally, number 91. Bryan Adams, Cuts Like a Knife. It's his third studio album, released in 1983. It was a huge success in both Canada and the U.S. Bryan Adams is an international star. There's no doubt about it. Straight from the Heart, Cuts Like a Knife, and This Time are 3 big hits off of this one. It's been named number 48 of the greatest Canadian albums of all time. I've seen him, I don't know how many times. I saw him on this tour actually. And I know he's more pop than rock, but pretty proud to have him as part of our Canadian culture. And he is a staple in the Canadian culture for sure. He's a poet, he's an artist, great musician, great singer. He's sung with the best. He's sung with Rod Stewart and Sting and Tina Turner and Celine Dion, of course. And I think he even sang with Pavarotti, if I'm not mistaken. You don't hear too much from him now, but in the day he was one of our biggest stars for sure. So there you have it. There's my list to start off with, and also a great box set that I picked up that I'm going to fit into that top list coming up soon. They're going to be quite a bit higher on the list, but there's still lots of hard decisions to make on where to rank these albums. So I hope you enjoyed. Have yourself a wonderful day and take care. We'll talk to you soon. And again, I'll probably release the other one tomorrow from 90 to to what is it? 89, 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 80, to 81. Sorry, had a brain fart there for a second. We'll talk to you again soon, and take care. Bye now.